Hello, y'all. So let me just go ahead and start out that I made this long 30-minute video about everything that's kind of been happening to kind of summarize how I got to where I am. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone for dates. So what I'm going to do, I'm just kind of chop it up if I can. I don't know. Just try and make it so where YouTube will actually post it so y'all know what's happening with me. Feel me? Okay. So here's the deal. Graduated from nursing school last May 2012. Started working as an RN at Huntsville Hospital on labor and delivery and mother baby. Awesome. Okay. Got a family practice doctor last December, finally. Worked night shift, never made time for it. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So, had been having really weird headaches since January 2011, my spring semester as I entered the upper division nursing school. Was like my second semester in the upper division at UAH. So, let's see. So, yeah, weird headache started then. Really crazy increased, like vice all over. Really intense. Came real fast. Left real fast. Could last seconds. Could last minutes. If I bore down. If I sneezed. If I coughed. If I screamed. If I exercised real hard. Anything like that. So that was that, and they kind of increased over time. They fluctuated. They were more intense sometimes. They were less intense sometimes. Couldn't really kind of find the correlation of what made it worse when, but I could kind of tell that over time they started to be more regular. Okay, not like once in a blue moon. Like, oh, that's weird. So, okay, weird headaches. That was the big thing. That when I got my new family practice doctor in December, she referred me to a headache specialist here in Huntsville, and so it took me almost 2 months to get in to see her, and that would have been February 7th, 2013, that I had my first appointment with this headache specialist. So I see her, and she says, it sounds to me like you have primary exertional headaches. And I looked up on it. I was like, oh yeah, that just sounds just like it. So, sorry, I'm moving the camera. She decided to treat it as that. And I was going to come back in like a couple months to see how the headaches were with the medication that I was on. If I had any, if I had any big headaches, if the hardcore headache medicine helps. But just as a precaution, they always do an MRI to make sure it's nothing more serious growing in the brain, anything like that could be causing the headache. So that was February 7th. That next week, which was a Thursday, by the way, that next week would have been the week of Valentine's Day, and I had my MRI on the 15th, that Friday, the day after Valentine's Day this year. That was my MRI, just as a precaution, because it's really headaches are ever caused by anything growing on your brainstem. So I had my MRI that Friday. That next Monday, the 18th of February, I got a call from that neurologist saying, hey girl, so I don't want to do this over the phone, but shoot, let me tell you something. You know how I said that rarely these headaches are caused by something growing on your brain? Well, you, my girl, have something growing on your brain. Then lingo of 2 point some dot, yeah, that a centimeter growth on the blah blah blah, on the palms and blah blah, and yeah. So we need you to go see a neurosurgeon, like yesterday. So I had my, when she was out of that, yeah. That's what I did. And that lasted, kind of went on and off a couple times during the day. Just really two, I think, big, like, cries, just that day. But, not too bad. Got over it, because I was like, I knew it. So, because I always could tell that over the past few years that something's just kind of been changing and slowing me down, cognitively. So, yeah, so I saw a neurosurgeon that next Wednesday, which would have been the 20th of February of this year, and I saw him, and he said, "Hey, girl, so chances are what it looks like based on your images that it is a tumor, or because of your family history, it could be multiple sclerosis, because my mom has MS." So I was like, okay, that sounds pretty 50-50 to me. He said he wanted to do this test, this test. If those tests don't come with anything, he's going to send me to a second opinion down at UAB, at the Kirkland Clinic, neuro-oncologist, all that jazz. So, he showed me the scans. I asked him if I could see my MRI and stuff like that I had, my most recent one, and he also showed me my MRI that I happened to have in 2007. After I had my son Noah, I had my son August 26, 2007, and I had an MRI done in October 2007 because apparently I was just really, really fatigued. I didn't want to wake up. I slept a lot. Thought it was baby stuff. I wasn't depressed, didn't feel depressed, but just had a hard time, waking up. So my mom was like, "You need to talk to your OB." So I talked to my OB, and my OB said, "You know what, just to be safe, why don't you go see this neurologist just to have an MRI done, make sure it's something more serious." So I had an MRI done without contrast because I was breastfeeding, but I had an MRI done in 2007, saw the stalk one time, never had any follow-up, nothing ever came from the imaging, nada, zip, zilch, nothing, zero. So this neurosurgeon, and even the other doctor, the headache specialist, because I had the images done at the same place here in Huntsville, the radiologist that looked over them, the new one, pulled up my old one, and he was like, "So guys, did you know there is something growing on this girl's brain in 2007? Why, heck no, I didn't know that. Nobody told me." Which I guess is good. But yeah, so he showed me the neurosurgeon showed me my MRI from 2007, and then the one from this year, and showed me like how much it's increased. So if this is my brainstem, just if it was this big in 2007, it's like this big now. It's kind of doubled in size. So fun times for me. Overachiever and all. Difficult. You choose. But yeah. So that doctor, the neurosurgeon, Dr. B, decided to expedite the process, which I was really grateful for. That he didn't poke and prod me any more than I had to here in Huntsville, and he decided just to get in touch with the head dude at the neuro-oncology down at UAB and have me go down and see them as soon as possible. So I waited a whole 7 days, like from my first meeting with Dr. B, the neurosurgeon, and was down at the Kirkland Clinic that next Wednesday morning. Was it the 28th of, is that the 28th? Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar. The 27th of February, and I saw a neuro-oncologist there, and he told me that I did indeed have a tumor in my brainstem, and that it has been present since 2007, and it has increased in size, obviously. Usually he said that he thought it was an ependymoma or a low-grade glioma, but because of the location, they would not do surgery to remove it. It's pretty inoperable, I guess. Pretty vital functions like breathing and all that jazz there. So yeah, and their thought process, or planning processes to kind of where we go from there as far as treatment is that they would have their big tumor board where all these super doctors, super brains get together you know, radiation oncologist, neuro-oncologist, regular oncologist, I guess, and neurosurgeons and stuff like that. And they discussed and they talked about me because I'm so cool, and my brain and my signs and symptoms and all that stuff. And they decided together what the best course of treatment would be for me in my case. And for me, that is radiation therapy, and with or without chemotherapy adjunctively. And they kind of left that up to the radio oncologist here and the medical oncologist here. So that is what I'm doing. I had my super duper mask fitting last week. I should be starting my radiation this week. I will have 59 whatever. It's like the total radiation delivered. I like quote marks. Can you tell? So yeah, 59 somethings, and that will be Monday through Friday, weekends off, and that'll be about 6 weeks and 3 days, roughly. Yeah, and then they decided to hit it hard, and with all the big guns we got, to go ahead and do Timidar. Timidar is a PO tablet form of chemotherapy. It's not as crazy, insane, I guess, super duper, your hair off type IV port chemotherapy. I sound so smart when I talk like that, don't I? No. But I just know it's a much lower dose, so you don't have the hair loss. You do have the nausea, vomiting, stuff like that. Low blood counts can happen, and yeah, my only concern with that is because my history of idiothrombocytopenia pura, which is fancy for a low platelet count, that we might have problems. But yeah, so that's it. That's what I'm going to do. That's the plan. That's what they got me down for. Oh, but I don't have to have a biopsy, which, you know, I won't technically be specifically diagnosed with a pathological report that this was in fact a low-grade glioma. But with all these super brains at this tumor board, they use their educated guess and knowledge skills to say, based on what we know, what we see, we can confidently say that this is a low-grade glioma and we will treat it as such. So that's what we're doing. My low-grade glioma is in my brainstem. This is my super brain, super charm. I got it from a super handy dandy, fancy, skilled, crafty person on Etsy. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's my brain. And then this is the brainstem down here where my pinky is, and it kind of goes up. Yeah, that's where my tumor data is. And I will keep taking just a quick thought. I do the chemo pill. It's a 28-day cycle. I will start it the night after my first radiation treatment. I'll do it for 5 days, and then after 28 days are up, I'll do it 5 more days. 28 days, 5 more days. And I'll do that until I'm done with radiation, and then I'll have, like, I don't know if I have any time off, or a week or 2 off, and then I will start a 6-month, I think, regime of, like, a higher dose of this chemo pill without the radiation. Kind of acts as the Horcrux to my He Who Must Not Be Named tumor. You know, the Horcrux, Harry Potter, you know, they helped you kill these Horcruxes, and it made Voldemort more sensitive to the vital beatings that you needed to do to kill him. Yeah. So that's my tumor. My Harry Potter, He Who Must Not Be Named tumor, or the tumor, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Fun times, guys. Fun times. And I'm so sorry. The whole point of these videos is to make it easier for me just to keep my family, my friends, and strangers. You know, I watch strangers folks on YouTube all the time, you know what I mean? One of the first things I did when I said, ooh, low-grade glioma, ooh, brain tumor, ooh, craniotomy, ooh, when I had no clue what was going on. I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Is it here? Is it there? I don't know. So that's what I did, and that's what I'm going to do, in case anybody is feeling froggy and wants to see what's happening on my end of my treatment, then by all means come here, visualize, try not to be too bored. But yeah, so I can't think of anything else. I'm just gonna try and do my best to use this as just a way to document and journal my experiences through treatment, really try and pinpoint the specific points in my treatment when I start to feel like that radiation fatigue, headaches, anything like that that might be useful to someone, even myself, to kind of go back and say, oh yeah, you know, that's when that started happening. And if this can be of an inspiration to anybody else, because apparently for having a tumor in my brain, I've been told that I'm handling it pretty dang well. Yes, indeed. Then I'm not crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I just have a very strong faith in the knowledge of understanding what I'm supposed to do here is not done, so I can sit here and talk about this tumor that's grown in my brain, and I'm okay, because even though it's a trial and a path that I have to go on in this life, I know that it's not now going to be the thing that puts an end to my work here, because I'm not done. I'm a single mom, so I gotta take care of my boy. I'm still not married yet, so wherever you are, I'm still waiting on you, so hurry up. We're waiting, okay? Let's get this done. Meet me in treatment somewhere. That would make my mom so very, very happy. And yeah, I mean, I've just got stuff to do, people to see, money to make, gotta go back to work. I can't be living off the government. I mean, I had to go back. You know, I mean, I can't work. Not during treatment. That's what she says. So we were talking, you know, food stamps, trying to get on some Social Security disability stuff, and that's weird. I don't feel disabled. That's just weird. Okay, so, you know, but that's just some of the stuff you gotta do. You know, I've just gotta do what I need to do right now to get me through this, so that way I can stand up on my own 2 feet on the other side. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm just going to keep doing whatever I can to keep moving forward. That's the best thing to do, than not waiting and being in like a purgatory, limbo, wonky, dead space of nothing to do. But yeah, that's why I would hate to really have had that watch and wait tumor experience, because, you know, they have to, sometimes they make you just wait with a tumor in your brain to see if it grows. So I was lucky I kind of avoided that in some sense. So yeah, rambling. I'm a bumbler, jumbler, rambler, man. I don't know. Okay, so hopefully this is like 10 minutes less than the last one I did, and maybe it will actually post on YouTube. If not, there will be a post-trace. Part 3. I'm not good in my non-English languages. So, alright, y'all. So, questions, comments, concerns, whatever, post them. I'm an open book. I'll tell you, I just don't like having to tell each individual person in my life that I love and I care about, and I would tell you every detail. I would tell you, and I want to, and I do so badly wish that I was patient enough to just sit there and say, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is this day, this was this day, you know, this is what this doctor said, this is what this doctor said. Oh yes, I did say that I wasn't having chemo, but then this doctor said this, so now I'm doing this. You know, I mean, I have like a million different doctors now, and so many people to talk to, and so many different updates, and so many things that's changing, and it's just, you know, I tell my mom, I tell my dad, try and stick to the grandparents, but even when it gets to my siblings and all my aunts and uncles and my cousins and my best friends and my friends from work, from school, from strangers to whatever, acquaintances. Like, it's overwhelming, and it's too much to just have to do that story over and over and over again. And it's not that it's just like, the cat, I kicked your dog, and it looked like your dog's going to die, but it's not dying. It's just there with this thing that could kill it that's not going anywhere. So I'm going to look at you like you're sad because I think you're dying, but you're not dying, but you are, but you're not. But everyone is, so I'm not going to be that way. Those are the looks that I get, if that makes any sense to anybody. Like you have a what? I don't know what to say about that. You don't have to say anything. Just take my word for it. It's a tumor. It's there. It's growing. We're going to make it stop. So that's it. And I'll post anything. I will probably post too many details about signs and symptoms later that I'm sure nobody wants to know. You know, if I get the craps, if I start vomiting, if, you know, like right now I've got the super steroid phase because I've been on steroids for like 2 weeks. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to bring it, and if you don't want to watch it, then I'm okay with that too. Dislike, like, I don't care. But it's what it is. And it's what I'm doing for my sanity and for my family and friends, so they know what's up. And I will end now. And I love you all. And I will update you after my stimulation for my radiation therapy and let you know what it's like before and what I felt like after my first radiation therapy treatment and my first chemo pill. What? Alright, y'all. Bye.